In some areas, Jamie, they are seeing flooding from the leftover from Hurricane K.
That's out west, and that's been in the southwest.
Yeah,
Here locally, though, I mean, basically, we've almost got this wall of dry air located over our area, keeping anything like that moving into our area. I mean, we're looking at a bone dry forecast, at least for the most part, all the way into next week. Outside right now, a little bit of hazy sunshine. We've had some high cloudiness. Temperatures have been pleasantly warm again today. 81 currently. A little bit more of a breeze out there this afternoon. Winds out of the south-southeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. You know, we've been showing you some flooding footage here over the last few days. Take a look at our rainfall so far this month of September. Now, we started off wet, to be sure, but we're 2 weeks now in, and you can see the rain really got shut off after that big rainstorm on Friday the 2nd. We did get a little rain last weekend, not much, a little less than 1/10 of an inch officially here in Springfield. Despite that, despite the dryness of the last couple of weeks, things are kind of holding steady in terms of drought conditions here locally over southern Missouri and northern Missouri. We go back to really the peak drought conditions. This was late July when most of southern Missouri and northern Arkansas, we were looking at extreme drought conditions. Well, since then, we've had some rain. We've had a lot of rain, in fact, during the month of August into early September in much of the area, and that pretty much erased the drought over southern Missouri and really knocked back the drought across northwest Arkansas, where we're looking at dry to moderate drought conditions in those areas at this time. My guess would be, given the forecast, though, we may see a little bit more in the way of expansion of at least dry conditions across the area, given the pattern that we've got for about the next week or so. Conditions right now very quiet across the eastern United States. What I want to show you is the dryness of the atmosphere. I've shown you this before here over the last several weeks. Here's our meter right here. Now, this is where you have very moist conditions in the atmosphere. This is where you have very dry conditions in the atmosphere, and that's what we're finding across most of the eastern half of the United States. You got that kind of pattern, you're just not going to see much, if any, chance for rain. And that's what we're going to find here in the next 24 hours. Overnight tonight expected to be dry, mostly clear, and then tomorrow we'll find, I think, mostly sunny to partly sunny conditions once again. And despite one of these upper level systems in the atmosphere moving into the area, it's just way too dry closer to the ground for us to have to deal with any wet weather out of it. Temperatures tonight, they're going to fall off into the upper 50s and low 60s, about 61 in Springfield. And for tomorrow, we'll see afternoon highs probably a few degrees warmer than they were today. That puts us up at about 85 for the high. Winds will be out of the south at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, a touch warmer, looks like mid to upper 80s, about 88, I think, here in Springfield. And then on Sunday, I think a lot of the area looking at 90 degrees or greater for the high. Looks like about 91 here in Springfield. And that September swelter is only going to get, I think, worse next week. The summer ridge that'll be setting up this weekend is going to be hanging around through at least Wednesday. Now, I think by Thursday, we start to see that ridge flatten out here across the southern United States, and that will allow a front to start working into the area. But I think it's going to stay hot through Thursday. That is officially when fall starts, too, by the way. That's a quick peek at the record highs. And I think we have a shot at seeing maybe record highs tied or set, especially on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. There's the heat, and we're going to find it in the afternoon. We're going to find warm overnights as well, with overnight lows warming into the low 70s come early next week through the middle of next week.
All right, thank you, Jim.